16X Book Club Challenge. Today we are looking at Chapter 4, Focus. Just waiting for Dee to come on. Awesome. Great to have everyone here. Hello, Namaste Live Toronto. Hi, Nisha, Dee. Okay, we're in. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Okay, I just gave a brief introduction, anyways, that it's day 3, and that we're getting to
Oh,
Chapter 4, Focus. So, which is very exciting. So, as usual, Dee and I will just give our rundown of the previous chapter, and if we applied what we committed to, and then we'll share today's takeaways as well as what we plan to do and what we plan to commit to, and then we'll come back tomorrow. Did you have anything else you wanted to add, Dee?
well, I think just kind of giving them context about what the book is for people, because I'm seeing a couple of people here that have never joined before. So I don't know if you want to give them some context of the book.
Yeah, this is our 7-day book club challenge on the 16X book. The 16X principle is derived from the 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle, which is that you can get 80% of your results from 20% of your actions. And this is something that is prevalent across many domains. It was first observed in economics, and then it became observed in many different areas. And the purpose of this book is how to make use of that to achieve breakthrough performance.
Yeah.
And so every chapter basically shares a new principle. So we are going through a chapter every day. We share our takeaways with everybody, and then we commit to applying it. And the next day we come back, and then we share what we learned. And you're all welcome to join us along the journey. Okay. So I think we can just go ahead and share yesterday's. So yesterday we discussed white space, and I think both of us just committed to, what was the word? What? I'm forgetting
Well,
the word.
reform.
Reinforcing. Yeah, we just committed to reinforcing our daily meditations and yoga practices. And that was actually powerful for me because I did it with the consciousness that I am doing it as white space. Because my realization yesterday in our conversation was I didn't consider it as white space.
Yeah, that's right. And it's just so energizing because, if I try to start a day without actually having that white space, which is my Hatha yoga practice and my Shakti Chalana Kriya practice, which is the yoga that I do, I find that my energies are really discombobulated throughout the day versus if I
Mm-hmm.
start with that practice, which is my white space, oh, the rest of the day is completely different. I feel like I'm riding on a chariot in the clouds versus like like dragging myself through a swamp. It's such a
Yeah.
difference that it's totally worth like setting that intention and in that space to do it in the morning. The one thing I didn't get to is my Samyama Sadhana, which is my meditation, because my day just kind of started off with the yoga. But it's something that I'm going to do today. It's on my calendar. I'll get to it. The white
That's good.
space will
I,
happen.
I need to get to that as well. I haven't done something in a while, actually. It's pretty embarrassing. But yeah, it's interesting because yesterday I didn't get to do my morning practices because I got to go to an event and then I didn't wake up early enough to be able to wake up and do all my practices. So I was only able to do a 10-minute practice as
Hmm.
opposed to like at least an hour and a half or something. So today I did about an hour and a half of Hatha Yoga and Shakti Chalana Kriya and Shambhavi Kriya.
Nice.
So very exciting now that we both shared this, our energizing practices. And today, let's go ahead and
Get into focus.
that's yeah, we'll get into focus. So
Well,
my yeah,
so I just, for everyone's sake, I wanted to read this part because I really love this because at the beginning of the chapter, there is a segment that says the way to create something great is to create something simple.
hmm
Rest requires simplicity, and simplicity requires ruthlessness. Doesn't that give you goosebumps?
yes, I
This is
love that.
why simple is as rare as it is beautiful. And I think as a civilization, a bunch of people, we've been completely conditioned to believe that the more complex it is, the more elegant it is. But really, some of the best solutions are lie in their simplicity. And I think this really reinforces that. So when I read this, I was like, oh my gosh, goosebumps, goosebumps, goosebumps all over, including at the top of my head. the clue, you know.
Yeah, and I this connects to something that was in the preface. I'll just read that. I gotta, yeah, and this is making the simple complicated is commonplace. Making the complicated simple, awesomely simple, that's creativity.
Yep.
And and actually for me, this chapter, the main takeaway was, oh, hello, hey
We're being
Arya,
bombed.
video bombed. Is that
The
even a term? I don't know. She doesn't want to be in it. Um, really, the main takeaway for me was to reassess. I think this is true for both of us because we're both in periods of quicker iterations. So we need to relook at our days and see what it is that we need to focus on. And for me, I realized that as I'm iterating, there's a few activities, or rather, there are many activities that I've continued to do that I need to stop doing. So I do consciously think, like, what do I need to stop doing? But for some reason that behavior was still there where I kept doing some of those things. And especially now in my social media, I'm getting a lot more engagement over the last few days. And it's like, well, do I really pour my energy into that? And personally, I find that a little bit draining. So then afterwards, I just can't get to something else, or I find it difficult to get to something else for like an hour. And then that also affects when I get to something else with that, but my performance isn't that. So that just becomes a bit of a challenge. And I think for me, the most important thing was reassess what's important with this current iteration and simplify. Like actually stop doing and look at what are the major activities, or rather, what are the activities that are producing the biggest results and that will produce the biggest results, and do only that. Prioritize only that, which means a lot of things I was doing, I won't do it anymore. Um, Actually, that's even my commitment. That was my takeaway, but that's my commitment, which is to actually go back at the list that I made in day one, look deeper into that and be like, okay, out of all these things, what do I need to actually completely stop doing? And what are the few things that are driving things forward? Because what got me here won't get me where I want to go. And I've also noticed that in terms of what I've set the intention where I want to get to, I'm already like, I'm making headway. I'm getting there very quickly. And now it's like, whoa, wait, let me take a step back and reassess and redefine where I want to get to, because I'm trying to get even higher now. So it's like I raised the bar for myself and now I'm like getting to that bar. It's like
Mm,
now I have to raise the bar again to a much
right.
higher level.
Right.
And that's going to define the activities and the focus. So that, I mean, that's my takeaway and my actions, my commitment. So
Oh,
tomorrow I'll share that. So I didn't mean to go like that deep, but I guess I'll give the floor to you and then you can go ahead and share your everything as well.
yeah, I have to tell you that when I was reading this chapter, I was just thinking that, you know, because I would like to create my vision with Mahi is essentially a startup that is creating systemic change in the food movement, in the local food agriculture, urban agriculture movement. And I started to realize that, when I think about systemic change, I need to think about simple systems. I don't need to
Mm,
think about overly complex systems. And I thought, okay, what are the three different things that will essentially create a systemic change in this particular system? And it's really just people, connection between people, and the common bond between them being growing food. And it's just as simple as that. And it doesn't need to be more complicated than that. And so as I'm designing the app now, and I'm also starting to think about the how we're going to have people test this app next year, those are the three pivotal things that I think that's all I should build and that's all I should test in the prototype. And so
mm,
it really clarified my thinking about exactly what I should build for the prototype, which was amazing. So I felt that the focus chapter, even as I read it, it immediately kind of like delivered to me what I need to focus on. So I think what I'm going to do is that I'm going to like essentially just create like an MVP framework of the things that I want to create, and how we can truly focus and what we can test, and there'll just be one or two things that we're testing, you know. So that was amazing, and I just love that. And in the end, there's a quote: "If quitters never win and winners never quit, then who's the fool who said quit while you're ahead?" And I love that because in the startup world, it's always like we're constantly iterating and then quitting. But like when
mhm,
you stick with something and you kind of test it from all different angles, you're really sort of like you're seeing truly what works versus what doesn't work. And so that's also another takeaway for me. So I don't know if I have anything that is immediately applicable because I'm going to be building an app over the next 4 weeks, 4 months.
mhm.
3 months. But it was definitely a huge takeaway.
Yeah, no, that sounds really interesting. And from what I'm hearing, both of us, this was an opportunity for us to look at what we're doing and simplify.
Right.
Really, really simplify. And I don't know if the audience picked up on this, but I also picked up on the fact that although we're both iterating, we have certain intentions that we have in place, which we're moving towards, and that's what iterations are about.
Hmm.
And we're trying to iterate as quickly as possible. We want to shorten that time frame so we can move more quickly towards whatever it is that we intend to do. And also, I said I'm going to revisit my intention because I realized I can go even bigger with that, so
Right.
that it can touch and transform even more lives because I'm not moving quicker, or it would be moving quicker, but the results are being produced quicker than I imagined.
Hmm. Correct. Correct.
So, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
Um, and a little frightening as well, I'm not going to lie. But I think physiologically it's the same response, whether it's nervousness or excitement or feeling frightened. I think there's some very similar, certain similarities that are there. So yeah, I think okay, Shalin, great to great to have you join. Okay, I know Jatin, and Jatin's also now live. So I think with that, we're actually good to go for today. Are we, Dee? Should we
Cool.
introduce the next chapter? Or
Yeah.
did you have it? Yeah. So tomorrow we will come back for chapter 5. Defy the tyranny of the routine. So this is something that might be counterintuitive to a lot of people. So I'm very excited to share about this and how that goes. So, okay, everybody, we will see you tomorrow.
Cool. I'm so excited about that chapter. Hey, Shalin. I just saw your message there. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining in. We're actually just wrapping up our live. So what time are we meeting tomorrow?
Tomorrow,
You know,
whenever you pop this. Oh, actually, it's interesting because tomorrow I have an event to go to in the evening. So I think, can we do it
yeah,
earlier?
yeah,
I don't know.
we can do earlier.
Okay. What time? Like in my afternoon? I guess that's your morning.
Can you do noon?
Noon my time or noon your time?
My time.
Yeah, noon
3
your time
p.m.
we
your
can
time.
do.
Okay, great.
Okay.
So
So,
everyone, if you want to come back and join us for chapter 5, then come back at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. But if you're not able to catch us live, Abhishek's got all of the previous sessions on his page, so you can get caught up there.
and they're on YouTube as well if you want to share them. I
Oh,
just
cool.
uploaded them on
Nice.
YouTube. So
Nice.
this one will also go on YouTube. So
Okay.
I'll put them up on LinkedIn and Facebook as well, just through YouTube. So okay, everyone, great to have you here. We shall see you all
Thanks,
tomorrow.
everyone.
Bye.
Ciao. Bye.